Swaminathan, you rejoin again. Good morning, students. Welcome to the data structure session. In today's topic, in the 4th unit, we are going to see about applications of graph. Before moving to applications, let's have a quick revision about the topic that we have discussed yesterday. So yesterday we saw an important concept in data structure. That's nothing but the topological sorting. Yes. What is topological sorting? It's an ordering. It's a kind of ordering of vertices. It's a linear ordering of vertices in such a way that if there is a path from Vi to Vj, or if there is a path from vertex A to vertex B, means then B should appear only after A in the linear ordering. Likewise, you have to find the order for the particular graph. So this topological sorting is applicable only for directed acyclic graph, DAG. So we can apply topological sorting only for acyclic graph. So in the initial stage itself, if you check if the graph contains cycle, so we can't apply topological sorting. Yes. So you have to find the in degree for all the vertices, write all the in degree, that is write all the in degree of vertices given in the graph. Some in degree may be 0 initially. Okay, some vertices can have in degree 0. You have to enqueue those elements into the queue. Then what you have to do? You have to dequeue it and find the adjacent vertices of that particular vertex. Decrement its in degree by 1. Suppose if the adjacent vertices are 3 and 4 means, if they are having the in degree as 4 and 3 means, you have to decrement it by 3 and 2. Decrement the value by 1. You have to subtract the value -1 from the in degree. So at that point, you will get some vertex with in degree 0. You have to make it, you have to push it onto the queue. Add it onto the queue. So likewise, you have to repeat until the queue becomes empty. For each time, if you are dequeuing, what you have to do? Decrement its adjacent vertices in degree by 1. Like that, I have to follow the procedure. So I have asked the question, I got some correct answers. Let me check. Yes, your answer is 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6. Good. Or 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 6. Good. Tulasi Malini and Sukanya has answered. I hope others might also answer. Or you can proceed in 2, 1, 3 also. Good. Because 1 and 2 are separate in the given graph. Yes. 1 and 2 are not at all linked together. So either you can start from 2 or you can start from 1. Good answer. I hope every one of you might practice it. If you have any doubts, you can ask at the end of the session. Only by doing practice, only by practicing few problems, you will be able to understand the concept easily. I gave it as a homework problem. I don't want to check how many of you, whether all 150 students have done or not. It's up to you. It's your interest to practice these problems. Okay. So this is your graph given, finding in degree. So initially you have 1 and 2. Either you can put 2 as the first element in the queue or 1 as the first element. As told earlier, either you can choose any one element, then proceed in that order. If I choose 2 as the first element in the queue, means what you have to do? You have to dequeue 2 first. Then find its adjacent vertices. That is, for the adjacent vertices, you have to decrement. What are the adjacent vertices for 2, 4 and 5? So decrement its in degree by 1. So now in degree is 3, it will become 2, and for 5 it will become 0. Yes. I'll share this PPT in the Google Classroom. You can look at the answer finally. So this is your final answer. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6. As told earlier, you can try with 2 also. Okay. So this is one of the solutions. You can have more than one topological sorting for a given graph. Yes. As told earlier, we are using topological sorting in mainly scheduling, job scheduling. Because which job should be done first? Only after the completion of first job, if I want to proceed with second job, means there you can apply the topological sorting. Okay, and then look at the third point, mainly in constructing the building. These are all some common applications. Initially, we have to complete the basement. Suppose I am going to build a 10-storied building. What we have to do? Obviously, we have to start from the basement. Then after finishing the basement only, we can go to the first floor. After finishing first floor only, we can go to second floor. Like that, I can proceed. So this is a practical example for topological sorting. Okay, it will give the order in which way we should perform the job. So as told, as in the given graph, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6 means 1 has to be done first, visited first. Then only the node 2 should be visited. Then 3. Like that you can do. Mainly in computer science, in OS we are using. In operating systems, mainly for job scheduling we are using, or for instruction scheduling, we are using the topological sorting. It will give the order of the compilation task, which part of the program to be done first, because with that result I can do the next part. So only after compiling the first part I can move to the second part. Okay, and also it is mainly used in data serialization. It's a very common topic in computer science. Only by serialization. Serialization means what? Sequentially arranged data. Only if I complete the first, second, third part, I can move on with the fourth, fifth, sixth, like that. Okay. So these are all some of the applications of topological sorting. Yes. Now we move on to applications of graph. In the initial classes, I played some video. I hope you all watched the video related to applications. That only we are going to see. But here we are going to see two important algorithms with respect to the applications of graph. Yes. So this is the outline application. Outline concept we are going to see. Let's see how far we can finish. I'm going to touch the first two algorithms because a very, very important application of graph is the minimum spanning tree, shortly called as MST. Okay, minimum spanning tree. How we are going to find the MST for a given graph means by applying any of the two algorithms. One algorithm is called as Prim's algorithm. Second one is Kruskal algorithm. They are the founders of that particular algorithm. They have defined the concepts. Okay, so only that name, Prim, and then Kruskals. And then another important application of graph is finding the shortest path. As told, I want to move from one city to other city. I have to pass through many different places in between. Or I want to move from one state to other state, from Tamil Nadu to Kerala, like that. A particular place means I have to, obviously, I will find the shortest path because it will save time, it will save my cost. Okay, cost will be reduced. So because both time complexity, space complexity, both are very, very important. We have to consider for each and every application. And also cost is very important. So for those things, we can apply graph. Under that, under shortest path, we are having an algorithm called as Dijkstra algorithm. J silent, you can call it as Dijkstra, but Dijkstra algorithm. It is mainly used for finding the shortest path using the single source. Single source means I am going to define one particular point as a source. Then from that point, I am going to traverse to other cities. I played on a video that Euler, name of the inventor called EULER, Euler. So he has to move to different places, but he has to cross all the bridges like that. That in that place we can use the shortest path. Then this graph is used in DFS. What is DFS? Depth first search. Under DFS application, we will see two concepts. These two concepts: bi-connected graph and Euler circuit in the next class, Monday class. Okay. So let us first see the MST, finding the MST, because it's a very, very important application of graph. These are all the things we covered in the video. We watched in the video. It's mainly used for transportation network. Mainly we can model any situation or any application. For that we are using the graph. Especially this graph is used in transportation network. To construct road transport or to construct airways or for rail transport, anything. For transportation network, what we need? We have to connect all the places. Obviously, which one will choose? From one place to other place, how much kilometer is there? If it is having short distance means first we'll move to that place. Then we move on to next one. I have to connect all the places to move from my source to destination. So those places are considered as the nodes. Okay, the path is your edge. So as it's given that the edges can be your airline flights or the shipping routes, anything. And another thing, it's used in circuit networks for integrated circuit, anything. We can give the all the points of connection as vertices, and the wires that connect to different points, they are considered as the edges. Normal optic fiber cable, in all our places, in all our streets, we are having cables. How they are using means, how they are making it possible means, we are using the graph data structure. They will mark some points. Those are called as nodes. They are connecting those nodes through the wires. Okay, they are the edges. These are the practical applications. Just we have a quick recap, then we move on to that problem, that Prim's algorithm. You have to remember these points hereafter. Because we are using all these things in our day-to-day life. Without World Wide Web, without Google Map, without Facebook, we are not at all doing anything. Okay, many of us. In all these applications, we are using graph. So Google Maps, how we are using to intersect. Intersection of two roads, we can consider it as a vertex. And the road connecting the two vertices, that is a path, that is considered as the edge. Then Facebook, I told it in the first class itself, you are considered as one of the nodes. You are connected to your 5 friends. Those are the other nodes, you are connected through edge. Similarly, those 5 friends connected to 5 other friends. Like that, it will get expanded. Yes, this is your undirected graph. Facebook is the best example for undirected graph. And World Wide Web is the best example for directed graph, because in a web page, if you are clicking a particular hypertext means it will move on to next page. Like that, I am proceeding in the forward direction. Yes. And finally, OS, operating system, mainly used for constructing the resource allocation graph. Because each and every process has to use the resources. Resources can be either a keyboard, printer, or the CPU, memory, anything here, device, anything can be the resource. So which process should get the resource first? For that we can use the resource allocation graph. Okay. So these are all the major applications of graph. Suppose in 4 or 5 marks, if it is as means, you can write. In particular, explain or apply Prim's algorithm to find the MST for a given graph means you have to write the following things, which we are going to discuss now. These are all the general applications of graph. Because in those applications, we are using this MST only. How we are going to construct that Google Map, how we are going to make the road transportation means by constructing the minimum spanning tree. We are making all these applications possible only by making use of the MST, minimum spanning tree. Spanning means what? Spanning, visiting, okay, going on. Spanning means the entire thing that is covered, how the nodes are covered. Lifespan, okay, like that, this is the spanning tree. So a spanning tree is nothing but the subgraph, which is a tree that connects all the vertices together. What's the difference between a graph and a tree? Graph has loops, okay, but tree does not contain any loop. I can easily convert a graph into a tree by disconnecting any one particular cycle or any one edge. I can make it as a tree. So you are going to make your graph as a minimum spanning tree. Why it is minimum means I am going to cover only minimum distance. Yes. So how can I know the distance is minimum? Only if I know the weight between the nodes. Weight means what? The value that is assigned to the edges. Okay, that is called as the weight. So here you are going to find the minimum spanning tree. Now that is the subgraph. Spanning tree is nothing but the subgraph, which is a tree that connects all the vertices together. I will just draw it here itself. It will be easier. So, for example, I am having 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not necessary that you have to make the node as a round one like that. This is also a graph. Is it a graph or not? Yes. All the nodes are connected. Not all. 1 and 4 are not connected. You're making it as a closed loop. So, closed loop structure. So this is your graph. How you are going to make it as a tree? How can we make it as a tree? Just we have to disconnect, or you have to remove any one edge. Suppose. Yes. Now the graph becomes the tree. But all the nodes are present as such. Yes. Suppose I am starting from 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 4. I have visited all the nodes, but I made it as a tree. Okay. So this is called as the spanning tree. Okay. So now you have to put some weight. Suppose 5 is there. Here 6. Here 3. Like that. These are the weights that are assigned to the particular graph. I want to move from 1. What are the nodes that are adjacent to 1, 2, and 3? Yes, 2 and 3 are the adjacent nodes of 1. What is the weight assigned corresponding to those vertices? 5 and 6. So which is the minimum one? This 5 is minimum. So obviously I have to choose this path first. So I have to move from 1 to 2. Like that I have to proceed. So we can construct minimum spanning tree for a weighted graph. Only if I know the weight, I can compare whether which weight is lesser, which weight is greater value. So based on that, we have to construct. Like that only they are constructing that bypass routes and all. We are having so many bypass connecting many different cities. Okay, there they will there they will calculate the distance from one village to other village. Suppose there is a path from, there are 2 paths from one village to other village, means they will compare the distance. Which path will be lesser? So they will remove all the fields. They will make it as make it possible for road transport. Yes. So that is the minimum spanning tree. We have to find a minimum spanning tree only for a given weighted and also connected graph. Okay. Connected graph only we can find the minimum spanning tree. Finally, your graph will become a tree with minimum distance. A graph can be converted into many different trees, but under this weighted graph, you have to find the distance, minimum distance. Let's see the example. Is it weighted graph? No, because no weight is assigned. No value is assigned to any edge. But we can construct the spanning tree like of this also. Now look at that first one. So this is your graph. Yes, this is your connected graph. All nodes are connected to all other nodes. Yes, A connected to B, C, D, B connected to A, C, D connected to C, A, B, and then C connected to A, B, and then D. So this is your unweighted graph. Now, these are all the different possible ways of constructing the spanning tree. We can't tell it as a minimum spanning tree. Just we can call it as spanning tree. Okay. Spanning tree means I have to start. I can start from any node, but I have to visit all the nodes. Subgraph of G, which is the tree that connects all the vertices together. As told earlier, a graph can have many different spanning trees. Yes, the important thing is you have to make it as a tree structure that connects all the vertices together. There should not be any disconnection between any of the vertices. Then only it can be called as a spanning tree. So we can have many different spanning trees. This is the example. From A, I have connected to B. Then I come back to A, then D, C. From A, I am connecting B, then come back to A, then C and D. Like that you can start from any point and you can reach any other. From A, first I reached D, then I moved to B. There are no other nodes. So again, I come back to D, backtracking, then move to C. From A itself, I have so many different spanning trees. A to B, C, D. Like that you can construct. Okay. So these are all the different spanning trees. Now look at this one, last but one, which I am pointing now. Is it a graph now? No, it's a spanning tree only. It's a tree structure only. If I connected these two vertices C and D, it will become a graph as usual. Okay. So in all the diagrams you can check. There won't be any loop, closed loop at all. Got it? Now we see it for the weighted graph. Now the same example. This is for unweighted graph. I didn't assign any value at all for the edges. But I constructed, these are all the different combinations of passing all the vertices, of moving to all that connect all the vertices. Here this is a spanning tree. Each and every part is called as a spanning tree because it is a subgraph which connect all the vertices. I didn't omit any of the vertices in any of the diagrams. Okay. So same example we can take it for weighted graph. Just I have assigned, look at the first example. This is your weighted graph. Like this only question will be given. Yes, we will solve the problem for Prim's algorithm now. So this is your graph. Okay. Having 4 vertices, connected graph. A and B having the value 3, AC having value 4, like that you are having different values. Now, same answer only, the previous thing, just they marked the weights, that's all. But now sum up all the weights, 3 plus 7 plus 2. So here the total cost is 12. But if I move like this means 4 plus 3, 7 plus 2, 9. But I move like this, in this way means my cost is 15. Here 10, here 11, here 11, 14, 15 and then 14. So among these, which one is having minimum cost? The second spanning tree, because this is your first spanning tree, this is the given graph. So this spanning tree, it covers only the minimum distance because the total cost is 9. For this only you are going to apply any of the algorithms for finding the minimum spanning tree. In a weighted graph, you are going to apply the algorithm. Very simple algorithm only. Just you have to sum up all the cost one by one. At the end where you can stop. Only if I visited all the nodes. If all the vertices are connected, okay, or visited, or they are almost connected, then only we can stop. It connects all the vertices together. So this is considered, the second example is considered as your minimum spanning tree. Okay, let's see the example. Again, same thing. We are finding and making it the minimum spanning tree for finding the R lines, for making the cheapest way to connect the terminals, as told, either bypass road or anything, railways, wires, optic fiber cable, anything, mainly for routing algorithms. To find the efficient, most efficient path, which is the best path, for that we can choose the minimum spanning tree. For this we are using 2 algorithms, Prim's algorithm and then Kruskal's algorithm. Now we are going to see the Prim's algorithm. Yes. Let's move on to that whiteboard, then it will be easier. You can copy this graph in your notebook. Then we will solve it. I'll again draw, no need to worry. So draw 7 vertices first. Make it fast. So we are going to consider 7 vertices. Name it as 1, 2, 3, then I will connect. This is for weighted graph. Okay. Weighted undirected graph only we are applying this algorithm. It will be feasible to apply the algorithm. So I am going to connect all the vertices. You can remove any vertex also. Suppose if I don't want this means you can remove. Can we still call it as a graph or not? Anyone unmute and tell, is it a graph structure or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, for a better understanding, I will remove few vertices, few edges, and I will add few more edges. I think I missed somewhere. Okay. So you name the nodes first. This one is 1. Wait, I will draw the final structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is 6 and this one is 7. 1 and 2 connected, 2 and 7 connected, 7 and 4 only connected, not 7 and 3. I'm connecting 7. Yes, already I have connected, okay. So 7 and 4 connected, 7 and 5 connected. Yes. Now you note down the weights for all these graphs. Let me take this 1 to 2, weight as 28. This one as 16. 7 to 4, you are having it as 18. And here it is 12. 6 to 5, we can have 25. Then 5 to 4, I have 22. The cost or the weight is given as 22. Then from 7 to 5, we have 24. And then 1 to 6, I have 10. Okay. So this is the given graph. This 1 to 2, this weight is 28. Okay. So all the nodes are connected. It can be called as a graph, and each edge is assigned the cost also. 2 to 7 cost is 14. Yes. Now you are going to apply Prim's algorithm here. Yes, we are going to, we can start from any one vertex. Before that, understand the steps that we are going to follow. Make it fast, just understand it carefully. Prim's is a greedy algorithm. Greedy means I want to get the solution at the first step itself. I want to get the best solution at the first step itself. That is initially. That is called as a greedy algorithm. Mainly it is used to form a minimum spanning tree for a connected, weighted and undirected graph. All these three terms are important. You can note it. This spanning tree, we are applying it for connected graph, and it should be weighted graph, and it is a undirected graph. Yes, we are going to build a tree that includes every vertex in such a way that the total weight of all the edges in the tree is minimized. I told the previous example. So this one, we can construct many possible minimum spanning, many possible spanning tree, but we have to choose the minimum cost. Okay, for that only we have given the distance or the weight. So this is your algorithm. select any one vertex and you have to connect the tree vertex. Tree vertex means the vertices that are part of the minimum spanning tree. I think I don't want to confuse all these things. We can move directly to the example. Yes. Now we are going to apply Prim's algorithm for this one. Let's start from 1. Or you can start from any vertex. Initially, we are starting from 1. How many adjacent vertices are there? How many paths are there from 1? 2 paths. From 1 to 6 and then from 1 to 2. Now, check which one is having the minimum weight. You have to choose that path first. Okay. Very easy example only. Easy algorithm only. So, from 1 to 6. Okay. That is the minimum path when compared to these 2 paths. Now come to 6. What's our ultimate aim? I have to connect all the vertices and I have to make it as a minimum spanning tree. That is important. Okay. Now come to 6. What are the nodes that are adjacent to 6? Only that is 2 nodes. So 1 and 5. 1 is already visited, so no need to go again. Only 6 to 5. There is only one path applicable. So you have to choose that path. Okay, 6 to 5, node 5. I'll put the cost later or you can put it parallelly. Now, at this point, at this node 5, find the adjacent vertices. There are 2 adjacent vertices, 7 and 4, having the cost 24 and 22 respectively. Which one we have to choose the minimum cost? So, I can connect 5 to 4 because that is having the minimum cost. Then you must look at the adjacent nodes carefully, then choose the node having or the edge having the minimum cost. Like that you have to proceed. This is the technique behind Prim's algorithm. Okay. So from 4, how many paths are there? 2 paths are there. 4 to 7 and then 4 to 3. Okay. Which one we have to choose? 4 to 3. That is the minimum cost. So 4 to 3. Then from 3, there is only one path. If there is only one path means you have to choose that only. Because there is no minimum maximum at all. 3 to 2. Is the process completed? Is the algorithm completed here? No. Because the condition is you have to connect all the vertices. I have connected 1 and 6, 6, 5, 5 and 4. 4 and 3, 3 and 2. One more vertex I have not visited yet. 7. Okay. So from 2, there is only one path. Okay. So 2 to 7. Yes. Whether I need to connect from 7 to 5? No need, because I have already visited that node, visited the vertex. If I connect 7 to 5 means it will become graph. Now this is your spanning tree. This is the minimum spanning tree. Now put the cost. So 1 to 6 you are having 10, then 6 to 5, 25. Add all the cost. This is your MST. The last one is 14. Yes. So 25 plus 10, 35. Then plus 22, 57 plus 12, 69 plus 16. What's the answer? 85 plus 14, 99. So the cost of this minimum spanning tree is 99. This is the MST. This is the resultant spanning tree and the cost here is 99. Suppose from 5, if I choose 24 means that won't become the minimum spanning tree. That will be a minimum spanning tree only. Okay. Yes. From 1 to 6, 6 to 5. From 5, I have 2 paths. From 5 to 7, I can go. From 7, where can I go? 7 to 2. Then 2 to 16. Sorry, 2 to 3. Then 3 to 4. That is by disconnecting this one. And if I am connecting, then this one is also a spanning tree, but it won't be a minimum spanning tree. 2 more costs. Minimum spanning tree will be 101 or 102, more than 99 only. Okay. So this is the technique behind the Prim's algorithm. Got it? Any doubts so far? I can construct more than one spanning tree for a given connected, weighted and undirected graph. This is undirected, no direction given at all. For directed graph, we go with the Dijkstra algorithm, finding the shortest path. These prims and Kruskal's, they are applicable for directed, connected and weighted, undirected and connected graph. Okay, so this is the technique behind the Prim's algorithm. PRIMS, Prim's. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Now you can look at this. Tree vertex means vertices that are part of the minimum spanning tree. The final thing we are getting, those are the tree vertices. Fringe vertices means vertices that are currently not the part of the tree, but they are adjacent to some tree vertex. Here, this one. From 5, I have not chosen 7. I have chosen only 22. Here it is no, it is considered as the fringe vertex. Okay, I have not taken that point at the time. Unseen vertices means vertices that are neither tree vertices nor fringe vertices. They are called as the unseen vertices. But we have to visit all the vertices finally. Okay, this example only I have drawn. You can try this one later. Draw this graph, make it fast. You can solve it using Prim's algorithm. I will ask the minimum cost. And also draw the maximum possible spanning trees for this graph and find the MST, minimum spanning tree. Okay. You can note this graph. We will discuss the Kruskal's algorithm in our next class. Just a small variation from the Prim's algorithm. In Prim's, I am starting from one vertex. From that, I am moving to the adjacent node. From the adjacent node, I am going to compare which other node is adjacent. Like that, I am moving to all the paths. Okay. You can try the Prim's algorithm for this graph. With this, I conclude. Any doubts? Draw this graph structure and apply Prim's algorithm. And I need the minimum cost and the structure of the minimum spanning tree also. So how many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 vertices are there. These are the weights that are assigned. And it is a connected graph. You have to check. Before applying Prim's or Kruskal, you have to check whether the graph is connected or not. Yes, you can take a snapshot and you can solve it later. Okay. Thank you, students.